Hello, everyone. TJ Anderson back here with Heads Up Health. I'm joined with another amazing health professional member of ours, Peter Delanoy. Peter, welcome to the call.
Thank you. Um, I actually go by Dr. Pete. I'm a PhD biochemist and a certified health coach. And my daughter and I decided about 6 or 7 months ago to start a company because both of us were afflicted by chronic disease. And this was a while ago. In my case, it was prediabetes, and hers, it had to do with hormonal issues and whatnot. And we both were frustrated with the medical establishment because, over a year ago, neither one of us were getting anywhere with our conditions. And when we switched to a ketogenic diet, then both of us resolved our issues. And it was such a big deal for me that I decided that I wanted to devote my life to trying to help people surmount these challenges, because when this stuff happens to you, it seems like there's no possibility of an outcome, right? When you're dealing with the medical establishment, which seem to be concerned only with single point data analysis. And then, they're telling you to exercise more. And I'm a fourth year CrossFit athlete. And to eat a healthy diet. And both my daughter and I were already doing that. So anyway, to make a long story short, we decided to start this company, and Ketonic Revolution. And we want to be able to be as modern in this approach as possible. So we want to offer our clients one-to-one health coaching, and we wanted the capability, like yourselves actually, and other organizations that have the capability to do remote health with these guys. In other words, we want to be able to monitor their biomarkers. And I'm not someone who writes code, and I did not have access to an app. And I should divulge that I have been a Verta patient, for example. So I knew the power of having an app. And then I went to the Metabolic Health Summit, and I ran into you guys, and I was super thankful because you guys have an app, and quite frankly, it's a really good one because of literally the amount of biomarkers that you can monitor and the flexibility in it. If I have a client who is type 2 diabetes, then we need to be able to monitor their blood glucose, ketones, their blood pressure, and things like that, versus somebody who might just be with us because they want to optimize their health. We don't have to do all of that stuff, but maybe we're monitoring their, I'm just throwing these things out. Maybe we're monitoring their weight and maybe their sleep patterns and things like that for them. And your app does all that. It allows us to customize it to the person. And then I'm using it extensively myself. And it's exactly what I wanted. It's actually got more functionality than some of the other apps that I used before coming to you guys. A lot more functionality to it. And one of the things that I really like is the fact that you can get graphing, by just hitting the button, and then it will you can see whatever you need to, if it's over a week or over a month. And I do a lot of experimentation on myself. So that's a really useful thing, like your carb tolerance app. That thing it's made my life a lot easier because I don't actually have to go and externally graph the data. I can literally put it in after I've done a 3-hour sequence and look at it, and I'm still doing the other external data entry stuff and all of that. But I literally can run an experiment and then I can look at it. I don't have to wait to see what the general trends are. So
Love it.
I'm really excited to be working with you guys, actually. Yeah.
Cool. I appreciate the background. So you and your daughter had your own personal health challenges and got into health coaching and started your business, Ketonic Revolution. So you're doing remote health coaching and needed an app. You didn't have the tech skills to build something,
Nope.
and you couldn't really find anything else out there like us. So why did you ultimately choose Heads Up Health? Why did you choose Heads Up over other options? What made you decide to move forward with using our coaching platform? Because you do a lot of coaching and you're tracking all of those biomarkers, like you said. Why did you choose Heads Up over some other solution?
The main reason is because the other solutions that I investigated, besides the one of learning code, because I'm almost 62 and trying to do this myself. I mean, I want to get with the people quickly. Anyway, if you look at other models that are out there, they don't have the capabilities. I mean, you can find lots of apps that will do like the nutrition part if you want. And but in those you can't enter the things that are super critical to me. If I have one client, for example, who's borderline type 2, right, pre-diabetes like I was, and the other options that are out there right now, you can't enter blood glucose and ketones in the same unit. You can't look at the sleep patterns coupled to it, because a lot of these guys, they don't realize that if you have a bad night of sleep, for example, your blood glucose is likely going to be pretty high at fasting. For those of us that have irregularity in our, in our ability to process carbohydrates and things like that. So trying to get them to understand that this is not a single point issue, right? Having prediabetes is not something that is happening to you because one thing went wrong. You've got these global things going on, and your app allows you to like look at a huge number of issues together all in one place. And I really like having it on the phone. The phone is crucial because it's when I sit down in the morning and I enter my own numbers, I'm doing it on my phone, not on my desktop. And I think most people are these days. So I really like that aspect of this, because I can do everything all at once in one place. And then if I need the desktop, like I want to monitor my clients, then that's not an issue. I can sit down and do that.
Cool.
So I think you guys have a hell of an app. It's really, really good. And I'm not bashing Virta. Virta Health was my godsend. I want to be clear about that. But I think your guys' app is better because it allows the individual to bring more things in if they want.
Right. And for a complete picture of health, right? So all of the lifestyle data, all of the clinical data, and depending on what type of clients you're working with, you might track, weight and sleep and blood glucose with one, and another ketones, and heart rate variability, the carb tolerance testing that you mentioned. Well, I appreciate the kind words. We're grateful to have you be a part of the community. We love that you love it and that you're using it personally. Like you really love that app for tracking your data personally.
Yeah.
And then the desktop version as a coach for you to monitor your clients on the desktop version. So it's best of both. You have both. So tell us, what would you recommend to another health coach or another doctor that might be considering using the Heads Up Health platform? And what tips would you have for them? What recommendations would you have for them if they have questions about using it?
Well, I would say that they need it. They should have it. If they're really interested in doing what they call integrative or holistic medicine, and they want to be looking at the whole picture, then they need something like this, because you can literally go into your doctor's office and open this up when they start to question you and go, here, look, there's my blood pressure for the last 6 months,
Right.
blood glucose and all that. I would say that they need it. They need something like this. This is the future of medicine. It really is. If people actually want to reverse chronic diseases like type 2 cardiovascular disease and obesity, you've got to be looking at all these global factors. And the doctor, so often you're looking at, what was your fasting glucose when we did your blood, and they're looking at a single point. This kind of app allows you to show them, literally, if I haven't been with you guys that long, but it won't be that long before I'll be able to show a doctor, here's a year of data. Look at the blood glucose fasting over the year. And then on top of that, I do a lot of other data too. So I can show them time points at any given time of day and after meals and all that. So you can actually see patterns. So I would highly recommend this app to anyone that you guys are encountering. I think for health coaches, it's a must. And for doctors that really want to like reverse these conditions, it's a must, because how else? The other method is not effective. Let's just put it that way.
Got it. Yep. Yeah, the power of data and being able to analyze it over a trend line, like you said, you can ultimately have like 6 months or a year's worth of data on this data point and review it with a doctor. So and data, we're all about data-driven outcomes, and
Right.
and the value of that. And like you said, for chronic disease, whether it's cardiovascular, type 2 diabetes, you name it, reversing those comes down to how well you can make progress on the data.
Right.
And that's where you see the value of our platform making a big difference for people. Well, I appreciate the tips for other health coaches and doctors out there. So if you are watching this and listening to Dr. Pete and I here, Jam, we're excited. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, we're here to help answer any other questions that you might have. My last question for you, Dr. Pete, is what's the how else has it helped you, like your clients that you're working with, in terms of the user experience and the engagement for them? Our goal is to help our platform support you in bringing on new clients, and being a value add and a bonus. Like, how are you positioning this? How are you offering this to clients? Are you charging for it? Are you making it a part of your offer? Tell us a little bit about that packaging and what that, like, how your clients are enjoying it.
Well, in all honesty, we're at the beginning of our company, right? So we have about 8 clients right now that we're just working with to work with them. And we've opened up use of the app so that we can test it from our end and see how we're able to monitor them. And then they're utilizing the app. I've taken some leads off of you guys, so I've made these guys my founding clients, right? So they have full use of the app. And and so far the feedback from them is that it's really awesome. It's easy for them to use, and both my daughter and I, we use it on a personal level, and then we're using it in the health coaching part of it. And we think it's really easy to use. I love the fact that there's so many parameters that we can look at in it. So the customization on the clients is super important. And what we're doing in our company right now is we're basically offering 3 tiers of programs. And being an expert in the ketogenic lifestyle, all of our programs run a minimum of 3 months, because that's what it takes to get fat adapted. And they involve weekly sessions like you and I are doing right now, face to face, so that we can troubleshoot and help them with the lifestyle. We bring a lot of other things in, like mindfulness, and besides the eating programs, the mindfulness, exercise or movement, and those kinds of things, and how that stuff is delivered is spread over a 3-month period. And then Heads Up Health is an integral part of that, because we're in every single interaction we have with them, which is one face-to-face like we're having right now, and then continuous full-time texting. We have biomarker monitoring as a full-time part of that.
Got it. So the biomarker monitoring outside of the coaching calls like this is a part of your offerings, and is really kind of integral to your overall packages and what you're able to deliver on for your clients.
Exactly. It's an accountability thing for them, and it's an accountability thing for us, right? And I think just about of the 8 people I'm working with, everyone in the beginning in this lifestyle has had issues, right? And usually they're still eating carbs in one form or another. And so if you have a way of monitoring the ketones, and the fasting blood sugar in the case of the individual who's type 2, it's really easy for me to see what, okay, what did you eat yesterday? Because these numbers, your ketones are really low and your fasting blood sugar is really high. So there must have been something. And then you can start breaking it down. So I don't see this. Let me just put it this way. I didn't see going forward with what my daughter and I wanted to do without an app like this. You have to be able to interact with the biomarkers. Otherwise, you don't know anything about what's going on. And then people aren't going to get results either. If they want to lose weight and whatnot, and they're never in ketosis, well, they're not going to lose any weight.
Exactly. Yep. Well, and the work you guys are doing, your niche focus around ketosis for people to adopt the ketogenic lifestyle, whether they're chronic disease or not, like it's so important. And it's definitely been a focus of our platform. We do beyond ketosis, but for all the keto health coaches out there like yourself,
Yep.
listen to Dr. Pete and pick up his tips and check out a trial version of our coaching platform over at headsuphealth.com. So thank you again, Dr. Pete, for being on the call with us today and being a part of our community. We're excited to see how our platform and app can continue to help support your practice's growth and supporting better outcomes.
Awesome. Thank you for having me here.
You bet.